We believe that corporate social responsibility is a Western jargon which came in to Indian way of work recently. But this famous book by Pushpa Sundar, which was published about 15 years ago, traces how in ancient India, a few hundred years or a few thousand years back, it was the collective responsibility of the Mahajans or the traders. Even in today there are Mahajans, these are trader communities, equivalent of the miniature versions of the CIIs and the FICCIs and ASSOCHAMs of today, which were specialized trade bodies. It was their responsibility to collectively take care of all the local communities' needs, whether it is education, whether it is health, whether it is building of travel places, dharamshalas, or whatever you call it, which is required for local purposes, was a collective responsibility. Muslim Mahajans used to take care of building giant dharmashalas. Hindu Mahajans were supporting Muslim places of worship. There was so much of synergy in the whole country, and the way trader bodies were self-sufficient and contributing to social well-being. Today, I see that transitioning from Mahajans. We had a lot of these Renaissance organizations contributing. From Renaissance organizations, it came to business philanthropists. From business philanthropists, it came to corporate philanthropists. From corporate philanthropists, it came to the government taking up the responsibility. And now from that, it has come again through the CSR legislation, where corporations are expected to spend 2% of their wealth for the well-being of the society. Now the common question which I am asked today, also I gave an interview to Hindustan Times, yesterday it was Economic Times, because I am here for this Harvard event, so they want to know what we've done. The common question which everybody asks, 2 साल हो गए, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, it's been 2 years, nothing is happening, what do you feel about the CSR legislation? I always believe, and I have seen in my research and lots of dozens of organizations that I have studied, 2%, whether it gives 20,000 crores, 15,000 crores, or as profits increase 25,000 crores, is not sufficient to solve the problems of the society. Especially when it is divided into 12 to 15 causes, coming to 1,000 crore rupees per sector: education, health, water supply, Namami Gange, Swachh Bharat, support to science and tech in government approved institutions. There are a dozen plus causes. Is it going to solve the problem? Partially. What is the greatest advantage of the CSR legislation? The greatest advantage of the CSR legislation is the mind space that it has taken in the corporate boardrooms today. The topmost companies in India today, with an annual budget of 200 to 500 crores, have to spend time in their board meetings to discuss and decide how this money is going to be utilized and what are going to be the outputs, outcomes and impact of this investment. If you are going to spend 500 crore rupees a year, which a big number of companies have to spend given the profits that are increasing with the success of the India story, you will be consolidatedly spending about 5,000 crores as a company in the next 10 years. 10 years down the line, if you have spent 5,000 crore rupees and you haven't moved the needle in any field, analysts, researchers, shareholders, academics and the society will ask that when your profits are going up and you have been so successful as a corporation, why hasn't there been any outcome of your social initiatives? It is going to damage the brand even more if the whole approach to CSR is not visionary. So I look at it as a fantastic opportunity for corporations to think big and think long term and make very clear-cut decisions and frameworks and implementation plans which benefit them and the communities they want to serve. There are so many brand-related benefits that you can get out of it. IT companies can work in the education field, pharma companies can work in the health field, construction companies can work in the livelihood field, manufacturing companies can work in the rural development field, and there is so much of brand benefit that you can get which is permitted as per the legislation. But what is the advantage? Just like the total quality revolution changed the way manufacturing works in India, and that's one of the companies that I've studied, of how TVS Motor Company became the first automobile company in the world to win the Deming Prize, which is the acme of quality in the manufacturing sector. There is no other automobile company in the world before TVS Motor which won the prize. How does this total quality revolution work? It works with quality circles. It works with multifunctional teams. Everybody comes together from the factory shop floor. Bottom-up decisions are taken. This can be done better. This will lead to efficiency. This will lead to better output. This will increase productivity. With all of those ideas, there is a gradual improvement in the quality, the processes and the productivity. the same approach can be used. CSR, corporate social responsibility, is not about taking care of the society alone. Corporate social responsibility is a way of running the business. Mr. Venu Srinivasan had told me once when I was interviewing him, he's the chairman of the TVS group of companies. He said, CSR is the function of the CEO. And CSR is not about, and this I'm adding to that, and CSR is not about the society. CSR is about how the companies does business with customers, with employees, with supply chain partners, with the environment, with the government, with the competitors, with the society, and with the shareholders. The company, which is a social entity, which is made of human beings, needs to have individual social responsibility of each of these people working in the organizations, so that any function you may be dealing with, customer related function, employee related function, supply chain related function, this larger holistic vision needs to become the DNA of corporate organizations. That is what the ultimate vision of CSR should be.